Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Terrifying Tuesday, and today we have to talk about a movie that's coming up that you may have heard of called Imaginary. So let's jump right into it. Now, the premise of Imaginary is simple. Jessica, the main character, returns to her childhood home with her family and finds her old stuffed bear named Chauncey. She gives it to her youngest stepdaughter, Alice, who suddenly grows attached to it. After the behavior becomes a bit unordinary, she starts to worry, and rightly so. That's the plot, but it's so much more. This movie is basically Chucky as a teddy bear. So if you've ever wondered what it would be like if Chucky was a rag doll or a teddy bear, this would pretty much be about it. However, the whole premise of it being an imaginary friend is kind of really unique because this is something that they explain in the movie as a spirit that has latched onto the kid and made itself look like a teddy bear. So while it's not exactly a teddy bear, that's the guise that it's taken on. And that is absolutely terrifying. And the commercials for this movie look really good. Now, it doesn't have a big name cast, and maybe that's actually a good thing as well. I know a lot of movies, when they get a big name cast, they sometimes think that they can do a lot better, and they don't. Sometimes the bigger budget doesn't mean a whole lot, or having that big name star doesn't mean as much as you think it does. So what this movie does have going for it is that it is unique, and its release date is coming sooner than you think. With a release date of March 8th of this year, it's coming up rather quick. And I have high hopes for this movie. I didn't at first because it seems like yet another craze, because we also have the movie If with Ryan Reynolds that is also about imaginary friends. That seems to be another one of those things that's going around that everybody wants to make a movie on. And when that happens, sometimes you get movies that really shouldn't have been made or were made really quick just to be a horror movie and don't really account for anything. But this movie has a good team behind it. It has a really good team behind it. This movie's team is also the team that brought us Five Nights at Freddy's. They're the team that brought us Black Phone. These people are good, and therefore I have complete faith that they can make a PG-13 film legitimately scary. And let's be real, this is going to be a PG-13 film, but that's okay, because by today's standards, the original Child's Play is probably closer to a PG-13 than it is to an R. But this movie looks like it's going to succeed in terms of giving us some legitimate scares. The commercial shows us a little bit of FX of the creature as it turns from a teddy bear into a giant teddy bear monster that looks outright insane and horrible looking, and something that you don't want to run into. There's also a scene where apparently the spirit itself is behind the mom, looking on as she looks at her kid. And the kid says, "He's right behind you." And we see this figure behind her that's kind of like a shadowy figure. And that's another thing. The people behind this also did the Invisible Man remake that was very well acclaimed. So they have the scare tactics down as far as I'm concerned. And just that scene alone was very reminiscent of thinking of the Invisible Man. At least for me, it brought back those vibes. They said also from the people who brought you Invisible Man, and I was like, yep, I see it. And that's kind of the thing here. This movie looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, despite not having a bunch of big stars. This movie could, in fact, make the stars that are behind it. It could actually make these people into stars. Very similar to some of the other movies that have come out over the years that people didn't expect to do well, and then all of a sudden now they're household names. I could actually bring up the original Scream movie, where the only major star that everyone knew that was a household name was Drew Barrymore. This movie has none of that. This movie is not relying on star power at all, but it could be a builder of these people's careers. Now, the movie appears to focus a lot on the supernatural, which is very unlike what we're used to seeing with the likes of Chucky, and even Annabelle is more spiritual and supernatural. This one seems like it's going to really embody this whole imaginary friend scenario, where we could be moving forward from this movie, if it succeeds, with a completely new imaginary friend other than Chauncey from this movie. And we would be seeing something completely different every time. And I like it when a movie can move on from the original premise and give us something new. That is always a really good scenario to have. If a movie can give you something completely new and make it so that you are excited every time, that's a good thing. And with sequels coming to the likes of Black Phone, I have complete faith in this team to bring us something really cool. Just a few scenes that we get of the actual beast behind this thing is legit scary enough for me. It tells me that the movie's gonna have suspense as well as gore, and that's never a bad thing. When you can take a movie and kind of make it so that fans who like a little bit more suspenseful stuff, or maybe like a good ghost story or something, can watch a movie and not necessarily have it feel like a slasher film, because still at the core of this film, it does look like there's a little bit of slasher in there as well. So this movie is really intriguing, and I look forward to seeing what they do with this movie and which one will be more successful. Will it be If, with Ryan Reynolds, that's more of a comedy, or will it be this one that gets its own franchise? This is where I'm going to leave it off to you guys, because we want to know what you guys think. So make sure that you're leaving us that comment in the comment box below. Make sure you're sharing this video with all of your friends. They're going to want to be a part of the conversation as well. Don't forget to hit that like button. It's free. It helps the channel, and we appreciate it. Miko says we need more subscribers, and look at this face. You don't want to disappoint Miko. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell while you're down there so you don't miss a single video we do. And friends, at the end of the day, I know it, you know it, and Miko knows it. Fandom is family.